Good morning, Year 10. In this video, I'm going to talk about logarithms. Now, logarithms is quite a controversial topic in mathematics, mainly because a lot of people don't like them, but the reason why they don't like them is because they don't know how to use them. I think a lot of the reasons why people don't know how to use them is because the textbook doesn't provide strategies to explain how they work or why they work. It more uses strategies and says, look, just remember this or just remember that about these numbers whenever you see the word log. So I'm not going to take that approach. I'm going to change it just a little bit because I want you to be able to remember this because it's going to be really important later on. So first of all, the reason why you want to use a log is when you get something that looks like this. So if you had 2 to the power of x is equal to 8, you don't, in normal algebra and equation solving, we don't have the tools yet to be able to identify what this value is. That's why we need logs. Logs will let us find this x value. Now, sometimes, especially when you're learning about logs, they might give you questions like this, what is x? And you just have to use your memory or guess and check to find out what the x value is. So for this question, you might get out your calculator and just do 2 to the power of 2, and then you get 4, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'll try 2 to the power of 3, and oh, that's 8. So therefore, I can write, that means x is equal to 3. Because 2 to the power of 3 is equal to x. 2 to the power of 3 is equal to 8. Well, that's great, but sometimes we get something that we just either can't type into the calculator, or we just don't have the time, or we can't be bothered. We just want to get the answer. So that's why I use what I like to call the BAP method. Now, you might have heard the word BAP before because there's BAP roles, but BAP, in our case, is going to be an acronym. So when we're talking about BAP, we've got base, answer, and power. Okay, that's what the B, A, and P stand for. So for our equation up the top, we've got 2 to the power of x is equal to 8. So this here, that is our base. I'm just going to use the letter B for that. 8 is our answer, and the x is our power. And well, why would we care about the word BAP if it doesn't even come up in that order? Well, it doesn't yet, but when we're talking about logs, we would write a log like this. We'd have the word log, and then we'd have the B, A is equal to P, like that. So that's where the BAP comes from. So the base is the little number at the bottom. The A for the answer, which comes from here, is the number with the log. And then the P, which is the power, which comes from here, is our answer to that log. Now, I understand for a lot of you this would be brand new, so I need to show you some examples in order to further understand why this works. But before we get there, let's rearrange this into BAP form. So first of all, we're going to write down the word log. Now, the base is 2. The answer is 8. And the power is x. So you can see for this particular question, by rearranging, we get something is equal to x. Now, we can't type that into our calculator. At least I won't show you how to do it yet. But what we do know is that this is the exact answer for what x is. And for mathematicians, and particularly when you're doing a test and and someone's marking your work, that most of the time is enough to give you full marks, at least in the Year 11, Year 12 course. Not so much in Year 10 because we want you to actually find the x value, but just know in the future that is pretty good for an answer. So let's try some. I'll leave that up there so you can see the BAP. For example 1, write each expression as a logarithm. So we're going to rearrange this so it looks like this. So first of all, I'm going to write down everything I know about, well, in this case, we'll start off with A. We know that 3 is our base, 5 is our power, and 243 is our answer. So we're going to write it down as a BAP. So we're going to have the log BAP. Okay, so I'm going to write down log. My base is 3. My answer is 243. And my power is 5. So what that's saying is log base 3, 243, is equal to 5. You just got to take their word for it, I suppose, until we learn exactly how to evaluate a log. Next, we've got B, 0.01 is equal to 10 to the power of negative 2. Same deal. We're going to have our A, which is our answer, that's our base, and that's our power. Okay, so this time I'm going to write it down. I'm going to skip the BAP part, just because I don't have that much space, to be honest. My base is 10. My answer is 0.01. And my power is negative 2. Now, you've probably been thinking, Sir told me that I can't do logs in the calculator, but there's a picture of a log on my calculator, so what's the deal with that? Well, there's actually 2 logs that we can use on the calculator. The one that's actually written as log, which is below, a couple of buttons below the mode and setup button, is log, but it's only works when we have log with a base of 10. So if you did type into your calculator log 0.01, it will give you the answer of negative 2. So that can be done in the calculator. This can be typed into the calculator and you will get this as an answer. But you can't if this is not a 10. So we can't do it for this, we can't do it for this, and most likely, because I can't see any 10s here or here, we won't be able to do it for them either. So, moving on, we'll do it for C. I think I might give myself a bit of extra room here. So, for C, same deal. Base, power, answer. And then I write log with a base of 8. Has an answer of 2. Gives me a power of a third. So BAP, that's my base, answer, power. Base, answer, power. Okay, BAP. Once again, we'll do it again for D. Now the difference with D is that we've got just letters, still works. You'll also notice the difference between each of these. So this is all positive, whole numbers. We've got some decimals and negatives. We've got some fractions, got some letters. It always works. So this is our base, and that's our power, and that's our answer. Also, if the order was around a different way, like it was above here, where our answer was on the right-hand side, it doesn't matter. Just as long as you recognise which one is which. So my base is Q, my answer is P, and my power is R. That's it. Log base Q, P equals R. Now example 2 is asking us to do it the opposite way. We need to rewrite log base n m is equal to x in index form. So this time I'm going to write the word BAP. B-A-P. Now I can rewrite it in index form with my base being n, my power being x, and my answer being m. Okay, this is also acceptable if you wrote it around the other way. Both work. Now, example 3 is talking about evaluating things, and that, like I said, cannot be done yet on a calculator unless the base is 10. So you'll see for part C, our base is 10, so we'll crack out the calculator for that one. But for A, B, A and B, we've got a log. We need to use BAP to get it into the other form, the index form. So, first of all, I've got my base answer, and my power I don't know. So that's what we're actually trying to find. What is the power? So I'm going to rewrite it. Base is 3. My power I don't know, so I'm going to write it as x, is equal to 81. So 3 to the power of what gives me 81? You can mess around with a calculator. If you're really good with your powers, you might know that 3 to the power of 4, I think it is. Yeah, that's right. 3 to the power of 4 is equal to 81. So my x is equal to 4. I'm going to do it again for b. I'm going to write BAP, B-A-P, don't know what the P is, so it's exactly the same. So I've got my base of 4, my power of something I don't know, so I'm going to call it x, is equal to 16. Now, for this one, 4 squared is equal to 16. So that means that x is equal to 2. And that's the answer for log base 4, 16. Now, like I said, the last one, you can type it into the calculator. So I'm going to type in, this is what it will look like. So in the calculator, it will look like this. Okay, and when you type that in, you should get 4. Just double checking it for myself. Yes, you get 4. So I'll just make a note. Calculator, because it has a base of 10. Okay, cool. That brings us to the end of the logarithm introduction to logarithms for our lesson. So next I'll ask you to be moving on to some textbook exercises. Thanks.